coming up, Boy George is back in the studio talking about how you can see him live on tour in just a moment. He can't wait.
First, though, it's hard to believe that it's been more than 40 years since Boy George and Culture Club took to the music scene by storm, racking up 7 straight top 10 hits.
Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Time won't give me time, and time makes lovers feel like they got something real. It's a miracle, and dreams are made of illusion. Come a chameleon. You come and go, you come and go. Loving will be easy because
Nice. There you go. Your life.
Can I just say I've done a lot of music since then, though. That's a snippet of my
early
artistic work.
Well, we'll talk about the songwriting that you're doing now, because the great thing about you guys and your writing is that you say you don't like necessarily you don't want to write for radio. You write for yourself.
Well, I write for everything. I just write to be in pop culture. So I'm not anti-radio, because I would love to have my
wanna
stuff
be on
played on
radio,
radio.
of course,
I wish, like kids now stream things, don't they? Why don't DJs just go, oh, someone's got a new track out?
Yeah.
Change it, because actually, diversity in the world is just such a big thing now. And I think the rock and roll industry, we're still running things like it's 40 years ago. Move on.
Yeah.
Do some NFTs, get out there and, break the chain.
Yeah.
Because there's so much creativity out in the world, and the music business shows you a snippet.
And so when you are writing or when you think about music, I'm just trying to think, like, from those clips that we just played there to where you are now. I mean, as a person, you changed and developed so
Well,
much.
it's interesting that you played those. I've re-recorded Do You Really Want to Hurt Me?
Yeah.
And now I'm going to try and convince the boys to do it the way I want to do it now.
Right.
Because there's nothing worse when because obviously my voice is, in some ways, a better voice now because
Right.
it's more richness. I have to sing through my nose. If you go back to those early hits, they're all under the note. It's quite bluesy. We call it bluesy singing. But, of course, now I do a lot of work on my voice, so I really sing in tune and I'm much more careful. I take care of it. I see what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, I can sing,
That's you. That's you. That's what that
But,
is.
so if you do that, you say you want to do it, you want to convince the guys that this is how I want to do it.
Yeah.
So how different would it be?
Well, keep the melody, obviously, because the melody's beautiful. So you keep the melody, but you kind of maybe change the key, maybe give it a reggae groove. Like, I'm working on this reggae version of Karma Chameleon, and I'm still not convinced it works. I'm playing it this morning going, does this work? But I'm going to try it, because I feel like those songs won't go away. So
No.
what about embracing them? I saw Matt Goss at the Palladium last Sunday, and he did this incredible version of When Will I Be Famous that was better than the original.
Really?
It was a swing, and the place were going nuts, because they know the song.
Yeah.
How he did it was irrelevant. It was just so cool.
So you must be looking forward to then sort of having all of this music and all of this writing to getting back out there and performing it.
The trick is getting people to come and see you, because when they come and see you, they always say about Culture Club, oh, they're so not what I thought.
Right.
We
In
are a
what way?
really good band. We're actually a better band now than we were. And we care more.
Yeah.
The passion is just there, because you just walk out on stage and go, oh, my God, there's so many people.
But the
go.
thing is
Just
that
turning up,
also, I would have thought the difference between you now and you then, one of the differences is that you can actually go out and enjoy performing live now, because you were scared of the audience until you realised that they were all there to see you.
Well, I feel like, you get thrown into it and suddenly it's like loads of people, and sometimes you have to be careful playing live, because if you get the wrong person's eye and they're drunk and they want to have a full-on conversation in the middle of victims, they want to tell you about their hair, they've just had hair done, then you have to watch it. But generally, looking at the audience in the eye, and kind of bringing them into where you are emotionally, kind of, chakra stuff, just kind of connecting with people.
So has that made you feel more comfortable?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm actually not scared of going on stage anymore. And, there are times when you get lost in what I call no man's land, because you've got the beautiful screens with all the images, and you've got the beautiful sound up front, and you're in the middle. And sometimes you forget where you are. You get a bit like, it's all going wrong. And then someone shows you a video, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So if you know that, just trust the moment's going to be amazing. It's a much better gig.
And you're not totally on your own. You've got some guest performers as well.
Bananarama,
Yeah,
Gabrielle, who I love Bananarama as well. Lulu, we do a song together, me and Lulu.
Yeah.
And I have to say, Lulu's amazing.
Yeah.
Lulu's such an amazing performer. Well, you know, she's done this for a long time, but we do The Man Who Sold the World together, which is great.
Brilliant.
That's incredible.
Covered, yeah.
And it's because we were talking in the break before you came in. And I think you were probably the third interview I ever did in my life.
Yeah, I remember. Really remember.
That's mad that you can remember.
Well, you've been on telly for like the last 30 years, Philip, so I remember that I met you 30 years ago.
What do we reckon? It was sort of 1980, 81, 82, something
Think
like
about
that
it
in
like
New
this.
Zealand.
How many people to interview then go on to be like a massive star in your country? You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, it's unusual.
But what was incredible at the time, and listening to Karma Chameleon then and watching it, is the massive impact you had on the world.
Yeah.
You were totally different. Yeah. You are. Totally
Not
different.
were.
But you really did confuse everyone.
And I feel like I still do, because I feel like my understanding of who I am is so different to what it was 30 years ago. You know, I'm in my experience in a way that I've never been. And I don't know how I crossed the road 30 years ago sometimes, I think, because I'm so connected. That's been the great thing about this pandemic in terms of having that space. You suddenly go, actually, what am I going to do with all this time?
Yeah.
You know, because I can sit here and moan about it, or I can go out and do something.
But it seems like you, over the years, you have done a lot of work looking after yourself, kind of looking after your head, your body, all these sorts of things. And I think we were learning this morning, you've been doing cold showers the whole
Yeah,
the
I was so
Hof.
disappointed you didn't get in the ice, though. But I
I know.
understood.
Or maybe I did.
Because I have cold showers. I've been into Wim Hof for years.
Yeah.
And I love that he's on telly.
Yeah.
Because I think it is, it's in, the breath is everything. You know,
And
that
have you noticed
challenging
the
yourself.
benefit from doing that?
Oh, yeah, no, I do cold showers every day.
Brilliant.
Every day I have done for years, and and I started doing breath work because of Wim Hof.
Yeah.
So, I moved on to all these incredible spiritual practices which actually help you to kind of just be here.
Yeah.
Not about being a star or being famous, but actually just going, it's quite nice just to be me.
Yeah. You did the snow machine last week.
I did the snow machine, yeah, but it's not quite the same. I have had the old cold shower. I struggle with it, but the breathing I like.
Oh, there are some moments, the mornings when you get up and you go, I just don't want to be cold.
And that's
But you're
probably-
always grateful that you've done it.
Yeah.
I watched who's the little kid, Owen?
Oh, yeah.
I was crying. I was literally sobbing, going, pull yourself together, it's a TV show.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well,
it was so beautiful.
How many?
When he jumped in, it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
How many hats have you got?
God. Well, this hat shop that I used to buy the hats from closed down during the pandemic, so I bought all their last hats.
did you?
So I've got about 6 boxes.
Let me just. I just want to remind myself of something here. Just a second. Hold on a second.
Shall I be Adele?
Oh yeah, no, there you go. Now,
I'll be Adele.
yeah, no, now I do actually, and the reason we're doing this is because of this. There we
Oh,
are. So I went to
Phil.
see Adele at the Palladium, and George is walking in. That's all lovely. And
That was at Kelly Hoppen's
that was at Kelly
party,
Hoppen's
yes,
party
yeah.
afterwards. We recreated. But the one thing you don't want to end up doing is sitting.
But it's funny because
Behind.
actually, I think you could see. But what was
I could-
funny?
I could see.
What was funny afterwards? I was like, I didn't even think about it. And when I saw it in the paper, I was like, of course, that's so weird. Why didn't I take my hat off, or why didn't I bring a little beanie?
I could see perfectly well.
And it's Adele, though. I can't take my
Yeah,
hat off.
leave your
And
hat,
there was
it's fine.
cameras pointing at me. I was like,
Do you know the best thing about that moment when you sat down was that you think, what are the knock-ons? And because I could perfectly see, it was the fact that Catherine O'Hara,
Yes.
who is my idol from Schitt's Creek, was sitting behind me. And she then leant forward and tapped me on the shoulder and said, well, I wouldn't want to be sitting behind him. And we ended up talking, and I thought, your hat has made me talk to Catherine
There
O'Hara.
you go. So
my hat's
thank
made me
you.
talk to a lot of people in my life. 'Cause, it's like...
It's so nice to see you. It really
too,
is.
Tickets for the Heritage Live outdoor concerts, it's a full series. They're available now.
Enjoy
Lots
it.
of new music on Spotify. Boy
Yeah,
George,
exactly.
releasing stuff all the time. People say, oh, I've listened to your music. If you listen to 4 songs, you haven't.
No. Go and take a deep dive. Thank you. Thank you so
deep
much.
cold dive.
Deep cold dive.
Yeah, get in the plunge. Take the plunge.